us because
Mm-hmm.
if people ask questions, I don't know if it will come into the chat or not. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to go to my Facebook page so that I can see when people actually, there we go. So I can see when people,
I see it just went live. So,
yeah.
I wish I had my I should have brought mine and went on there so I could see it too. My iPad, but it's okay.
Yes. So welcome Tonya to our phenomenal woman group. We have a group of a little over 200 women that
Awesome.
that we came together about maybe about 5 months ago now, and it's
Okay.
building and growing. And we're all about empowering the woman to be healthy,
Yes.
wealthy, and wise.
Yeah. Oh, those are. Oh, I loved every last one of those. Those
Yeah.
three great components.
Three great components. And I'm a firm believer that to be a phenomenal woman, you have to be great in all of those areas, not just one. A lot of times people are focusing on wealth, and that's good. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and
Yes.
I love seeing women win. But one
Mm-hmm.
thing I found is that we get so focused on the M's, what I call the M's, taking care of mama and them,
Yeah.
daughter and them, kids and them, all of the M's.
Come on now. You
Okay. And
are right.
yes. And then we forget about ourselves and we
Yes.
end up being sick. We end up being down. We end up with mental health issues. We
Mm-hmm.
end up worrying about Boo Boo left and Steve left and Bobby left. And we
Come
start
on now.
all these things.
Yes.
And we forget the main component, which is us.
What is ourselves? Yes.
Exactly. And I always tell people, because, there used to be this slogan that says, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And
Mm-hmm.
that's true. Mama
Yes.
needs to be happy and whole.
And whole.
Yes. So that
Yes.
she can help the family be whole.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Like you said, we take care of everybody but ourselves. And it's great that you have this platform to bring all the women together with just helping uplift and encourage, because we need to pull each other up,
Exactly.
and not so much put each other down, just love on each other and just uplift one another. So you have a great platform. I love it. I'm glad I'm a part of it. So
Well, thank you so much. I met you through my wonderful friend Inga, who's always so supportive, like
yes.
such a successful woman herself, but then
Yes.
always reaching down and lifting someone else up.
Yes.
So she put us in touch and she told me about your story, and I was like, I have to have her on. I have to hear. My ladies need to hear this.
Yes.
So I'm gonna turn it over to you. I want you to tell us about yourself. I know you have a background in the medical as a clinical specialist, and I know you're an entrepreneur as well.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I am so elated and so ecstatic to be here amongst all the wonderful young ladies here just to share my story. Or just not so much, we'll just speak to ladies about a healthy heart and how, about a little bit about my background in the cardiac field. So, my name is Tonya Laster, and I've been in the medical field for most of my life. But for 21 years, I was specialized in cardiac.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a background as a cardiac clinical specialist in cardiac. And when they say clinical specialist, they just give you many jobs underneath that title. So I ran a arrhythmia clinic, and I checked pacemakers and defibrillators. That was my thing. I was the manager, and I interrogated people that had implantable pacemakers and defibrillators in their heart. So that's where it started from me. So I went from doing the pacemakers, defibrillators, to running a stress test. Doctor just had to be in the building, but I ran the whole stress test. When it comes down to knowing the heart rhythms, I know every heart rhythm that you can possibly go into. So, and there's many that you can go into. So I know the heart rhythms like the back of my hand. So that's something that I really specialized in. So interrogating pacemakers, doing the stress test, Then I put another thing a notch under my belt, which was a Coumadin clinic. And Coumadin is a blood thinner. So a lot of our cardiac patients were on blood thinners. So that's when they had blood clot. So if you have a stroke, blood clot could travel from your legs all the way to your heart, all the way to your brain, and you could throw a clot. And so those patients have to go on what we call a blood thinner. So I did that, and the list goes on. Uh, Being in cardiac, I just love taking care of people. I'm an advocate for healthy heart and for blood pressure, because the blood pressure is a silent killer. When you say it's a silent killer, it's absolutely the truth, because some people never get a side effect at all. Some people get a headache, but not maybe nine times out of 10, but 8 times out of it, you won't have a symptom at all. So that's why they call that the silent killer. And that blood pressure can raise, and that cause you to have a heart attack, cause you to have a stroke. So I am real big about blood pressures. Take your blood pressure, know your numbers. And when I say know your numbers, and if you need me to slow down, I'm rambling on, just say in a word. I feel, coming from a cardiac standpoint, you should know your numbers in every area. Getting blood work done, knowing your numbers, knowing your cholesterol numbers, knowing your glucose numbers, knowing your A1C numbers. Because you know one thing, numbers don't lie. You know, we can fake about anything else, but getting your blood pressure checked, those numbers don't lie. And getting your blood work to know how your blood work tells everything about what's going on with you. So annually, yearly blood work is a must, and taking your blood pressure is a must. So that's a little bit about me. I was in the medical field for 21, or no, I've been in the medical field for a long time, specializing cardiac for over 21 years. So that's me.
I love what you shared. And we're going to dive a little bit more into that. But the reason why I am so passionate about health right now in my life is my mom has had 2 strokes.
That'll do it. Mm-hmm.
2 strokes.
Mm-hmm.
And she had high blood pressure, just like you mentioned. But she loved to have a mixed drink every once in a while. And when she have her mixed drink, she wouldn't take her blood pressure medication. But me, as a young woman,
Did it.
didn't understand that, right? And so my mom had a stroke, and she was permanently in a wheelchair for a very long time. And then
Wow.
this year she had her second stroke. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, because honestly, the stroke didn't put my mom in the wheelchair. I remind her this often, right? When she was when she was able to really speak to me. Now she's suffered a whole lot in her health. And that's why I'm so passionate about women's health, because my mom and her sisters were the strongest women all my life.
Yes.
So to see her go through this has been so challenging for me mentally.
Yes.
Right? Now my sister's her caregiver and taking care of her, but just understanding the relationship between food and exercise and health. You know, we weren't brought up to think like that. No. We were brought up to think that these things didn't have one thing to do with the other. Yes. And my mom had her stroke, but her mind mentally checked out.
It did.
She thought she couldn't heal from it.
Wow.
Because some doctors, don't explain that.
Nope.
Right?
No.
And
no. You're right.
Yeah. And so this became a passion for me in my adult life now. And now over 50, I'm concerned because my mom was in her late 50s when she had her first stroke. Right. And so now I'm like, I need to look at this. I need to pay attention to my health. I need to get my wellness checks. I need to know what my numbers are, just like you. So talk to the women a little bit about how important that. I mean, you as a clinical specialist, but also as a female and a Black female, and this runs into our community even more so.
Yes. So just like you said about your mother and how you really it made you really want to look at things and seeing what your mother went through. I'm so heart health is such a big deal to me because of my grandmother. My grandmother had heart conditions. She had high blood pressure out of this world. Like her blood pressure would go up so high. When she went to the doctors, they would call an ambulance and send her right to the hospital because her numbers were just so off the chart. And I ended up losing her to sudden cardiac death. So, wow. And that was right. I just got into the cardiac career in my life. And what I know now that I didn't know then, my grandmother should have had a implantable defibrillator. There's a number, I always talk about numbers. There's a number that when you go to, if anyone that's listening to us sees a cardiologist, when they have their numbers for their labs, they normally get a stress test. They normally get an echocardiogram. That echocardiogram gives you your, what we call an ejection fraction. That's the percentage of your heart. So my grandmother's ejection fraction of her heart was less than 25%. So anyone with a low, the normal number is 35 to 65. But when you're under a certain number, you're definitely a candidate for an implantable defibrillator. And I know that her doctor probably told her that she needed one. But back then, you know how stubborn, I could see her saying she didn't want it. And that's the thing that she actually left this world on. And some people are afraid to get it. They're like, I don't want that thing inside of me, but they're better off than we are walking the streets. And we go down from a heart attack. If there's not a defibrillator to shock us back, we could be gone. Whereas if they have an implantable defibrillator, then you would be saved. So I just wanted to say that I got into it because of my grandmother. But being in the this field and looking back on how our parents didn't, how they ate, they didn't eat healthy at all. It was fried everything. Fried. So I think us as women, upcoming women and listening now, and I think we are very more particular about what we put in our bodies. I think we're going not so much on the fried foods, we're baking it. So we should bake foods. I think we look at it more than our parents and grandparents looked at it, because we've seen what has happened to them, and we want to be around a long time. We want to live. We don't just want to exist. We want to live. So we want to do things to live. So we want to eat healthier. So I say clean eating and exercise. Those are two components to keep the heart healthy. So I hope I answered your question.
You did, and so much more, because I grew up in the South, right? I live in Maryland now, but I grew up in the South, and you would hear grandma and them saying take aspirin, do all these home remedies. What I'm saying is we really need to know our numbers. We need to question our doctors. We need to understand what they're saying, because a lot of times we're relying on the medical industry, our doctors, to tell us. And if they don't really explain it to us, which I find sometimes doctors are so busy, they have so many patients, they in and out. We need to advocate for our own health and understand what is happening with our bodies. Yes. As women.
Yes. You said a mouthful. And that's why I would always go to doctor with my grandmother, because they don't speak layman's terms, and a lot of things. And even if it wasn't your grandparents, just us as, you're not in the health field, you won't know these lingos that they talk. You don't know what they're talking about, and they won't break it down to you. Sometimes you just have to say, stop, listen, break it down to me so I can understand what you're saying. Because if not, we walk out just saying, because we just ready to get out of there. He ain't said nothing he ain't said that was it. He ain't said, we don't want to hear nothing bad. So we just agree, and we leave without really asking questions. And anyone that's listening to me that does have loved ones, be a squeaky worm for them, be an advocate for them. ask questions for them on their behalf. And
Mhm.
I'm in the part of this community with Tillis. I'm not, okay, put a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you what I know and my experience. So I put that disclaimer out there. But I am here in this community with you, Tillis. If there's anything or any questions that I can help anybody with for on behalf of them or their loved ones, I would be more than happy to, help anyone that I can. Because a lot of times we don't know. It could be the simplest thing. Like we don't know, like you said with the aspirin. Some people take aspirin just because it's a blood thinner. And, you know, and so that still rings true today. The
Okay.
doctors still do the same thing. So, yep.
Mhm. That's
So
good. That is good. Now, my sister is the advocate. I'm one of those people. I'm scared of the doctor. I don't know what he gonna say, and I'm sure there's some people out there too. I'm like,
yes,
let me just hurry up and get in here and get this out. If he ain't making no frowning faces, then I'm good. And that's not good. What I'm hearing you say, Tillis, that's not good. You need to ask some questions.
yes,
Um,
and some of the that's what I've seen. So many patients, they felt so comfortable with me, they would leave the doctor and say, "Well, what did he say about this? Well, what come here? Well, what did they mean about this?" And I loved it just because um I helped people that look like me that didn't know,
mhm.
kind of help them out because and then some of them are embarrassed or some of them can't read to know what they're talking about. So it God placed me there, and it felt good to be there to be able to help because it wasn't about me, it was about helping someone else. And you
Mhm.
can't be in the healthcare field or a nurse or anything if you don't have compassion and empathy to be able to help other people.
So we
So
definitely appreciate your work
mhm.
there. And we really need it because, again, I think our community, the Black community, we don't ask enough questions. We're not advocating for our health like others. And
Mhm.
often it boils down to insurance, it boils down to
Yes.
money. And
Yes.
because of those lack of things, we don't always get the same care. And that's why in this community, it is so important that we focus on natural health and natural healing. And so I want to branch to that just a little bit because I understand that you also are into natural healing and you
Yes.
understand fasting and juice fasting
Yes.
and eating healthy and all of that. So tell me a little bit about your journey with that, given that what you just said about heart health.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm currently not on a blood pressure pill, but I have been on the blood pressure pill for years. For I haven't been on a blood pressure pill for the last 2.5 to 3 years. But
Wow.
prior to that, I was on a blood pressure pill, um, and I wanted to get off. But being transparent, I never was a real bad eater. I was a pretty good eater, but I like to have my cocktail. I like my wine. I like the red wine. So if I be real transparent, and the cardiologist would say, "Well, red wine is good for you," and it is in moderation, like everything in moderation. But
Mhm.
when I did feel like I had wine, especially if I went over a glass of wine, I felt tightness, swelling. It just didn't agree with me. So for me, I have this is how I had to cut that out and like really cut that out and eat properly, uh fasting, juicing, and exercise.
Mhm.
Exercising for me at least 30 minutes a day. When I do that, I'm blood pressure free. And I'm telling you, my weight went down, okay, and I lost weight because that's a part of it. So
Yep.
when I ate clean, I dropped a few pounds. You can drop 5 pounds and it can make a difference on your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and everything else. 7 pounds, 10 pounds, you just those numbers. But even past that, if you move, for me, I have to move. I have to eat clean and I have to move at least 30 to 40 minutes a day. And I'm not saying you have to be out here lifting weights, running a marathon. Just even doing something around the house, going for a walk, take a stroll a 20-minute stroll. It don't have to be 30 minutes. Anything that you can do differently than what you're doing now. If you're just sitting down and don't on the couch, just say, okay, I'm gonna do something for 10 minutes. So for me, on my journey of getting off the blood pressure pill, I have to eat clean. That I do a fast. I fast a lot, and I juice, and I exercise. Those are the things for me. And in today's world, it's just so hard with us moving and shaking, and life is life, and it's just so busy. It's like, okay, how you do that?
Yeah.
You have to do that. You have to prep, meal prep. You have to do it because it's so easy to pull up to a McDonald's and say, "Let me get this fast food right. Let me get some that cheeseburger and fries."
Chick-fil-A is my thing. I thought I was eating healthy, eating Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A has some good salads, though. I'm not gonna lie.
They do.
But even if you have little snacks in your car, like I keep nuts in my car, like things like some fruit, I keep stuff handy. So if you keep things handy and meal prep, you can start your way. Well, they already starting with you with the juicing. That is so good because what does the doctor always tell you? Eat your fruits and vegetables.
Right.
So if this is a raw nut fruit, raw vegetable, and you're juicing that up, that is the key to starting your healthy heart. Because what it does is, and to have a healthy heart is you want your blood to flow through your heart without without getting no clogged arteries or things like that. It's all about the blood flow that keeps our heart healthy. It's all, and I didn't share this. I'm all over the place, but I just had to share this. I wanted to say this at the beginning. Anybody that would, I didn't give numbers because I'm a numbers person. Your heart, for your heart rhythm, your heart rate should be between 60 and 100. That's a normal realm for a normal heart rate. So I want to say that.
Okay, 60, I'm writing that down.
60 to 100. When you exercise, you want to get your heart rate up because that's what helps you with a healthy heart. So depending on your age, different age is different numbers. But if certain age, you want to at least get up to 125. 120 with exercise. If you're a real athletic person, you may be up in the 150s, and that's normal. So I just wanted to throw that out there too. I did a twofold question there. So.
Yeah. No, no, that was good because I think a lot of people like me, we grew up on the standard American diet, right? And so we're eating all of this processed food, even though it might say, we had the fad, the keto fad, and then the fat fad, and we had all these things going on, and yet everyone's getting bigger in this country. And we have the most obesity rate, the most death rate, and then we have heart attacks on top of that. And then if we break that out and talk about African American community, how could we be the smallest number of people in this country but yet have the highest number of death rate related to heart disease, cancer, stroke, all of these things, right? And all of this ties back to the food that we're eating.
Yep.
The standard American diet, and somewhere, in the late 60s and 70s, they came up with this pie chart. Remember the pie chart?
Yes, I remember that.
Became fatter eating all this stuff, and then it was, the fat free, and then it was keto, and all of this stuff. And I think finally we've come full circle with Dr. Sebi and what's the lady from North Carolina now? Tabitha Brown, and all of people now are bringing us back to full circle.
Full circle, yes.
Should be eating, which is the foods of God, the natural foods
of God, from the earth.
From the earth. And so tell me, how did you start your journey to get rid of the high blood pressure? And I preface that with, all my life, I would pride myself on, okay, I'm a big girl, but I'm healthy. I'm a big girl, but I'm healthy. Until I turned 50. And when I turned 50, I went to the doctor And the doctor said, "Oh, you got high blood pressure." I said, "No, I don't."
Yes.
I was so confident. He said,
Yes.
"No." So I made the doctor check it 3 times because I was like, I don't have high blood pressure. So
Right.
here I am now, having to deal with that. I never had to go on medication because I quickly, remembered the things I had been. I would watch all the videos, Dr. Sabi
Mm-hmm.
and all this stuff, but I was just like, that ain't me. I don't need that. I'm fine. I can still have my Chick-fil-A, my fries.
Yes.
I realized that I had to make a change health wise because
Yes.
I'm entrepreneur. I have a government job, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm living my best life. And
That's
so
right.
I want to continue to live that life into
Yes.
my 80s and 90s and not, be sick. So talk to us about how did you get on the journey, and what did you do to wean yourself off of the high blood pressure medication?
Well, like I said, to wean myself off of the blood pressure medicine, processing food. Okay, processed food. You talk about processing food. Let me tell you something. Lunch meat.
Mm.
It's not good.
And
I
we grew
used
up on that.
We grew up
Bologna,
on it,
hot dogs.
and I continued to do it. I would eat subs, hoagie subs like they were going out of style.
Mm-hmm,
Seriously. So
mm-hmm,
that was number one. I cut processed foods, cut out.
cut out.
Fried foods, cut out. That
Mm-hmm,
they had to go. So that's where I started right there with the processed foods and the fried foods
mm-hmm.
and sweets. I'm not a big sweets, but some people are.
Yeah.
Now I do that because, and that's a whole nother segment. And that's why I kind of stopped the red wine because of the sugars in it. My diabetes run big in my family, so that's something I never wanted to get. So I really pushed back from that. No sweets, and I never was a big sweet eater. But between the fried foods, the processed foods, um, and exercising, next I went to the doctor. Well, I was getting dizzy for a while there, and now I'm eating better. Like I said, I cut out all the bad stuff. I went with the good stuff, juicing, uh, salads, grilled food, baked foods, not a whole lot of oil, not a whole lot of butter, things like that. And
Mm-hmm,
and I was dizzy one day, and I take my blood pressure all the time, and I'm
mm-hmm.
like, for me, my blood pressure was always elevated. I was like, ooh, it's low, like low, low. So I'm like, okay, now I'm keeping a log. So every day I took my blood pressure, and it was so low, I didn't take my blood pressure pill because I was afraid it would bottom out. And at that point, I'm eating better and I'm working out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, let me. And I called my doctor as well, and he told me exactly what I was already going to do. Keep a log for. Uh, he made me an appointment and keep a log until my appointment. I think that was like in a week or 2 weeks. I
Mm-hmm.
kept a log and it stayed consistent, and I did not take a thing. I went to him. He said, from these numbers, I don't think you need to be on anything. And I said, you're kidding. I was like, I said, well, give me a little, but make me a prescription anyway, in case I go party too hard and I get to have a little extra sip and it go up. He was like, well, okay, I will, but you really don't need it. So I just kept a log on it, but it all comes from me changing the way that I ate, changing my diet. Well, like I said, I don't say that. The way I ate and made it clean, a clean diet, eating healthy, eating clean, and exercising. That's what got me off my blood pressure pill. And even now, I'll take if I slack up and start uh, doing things that I shouldn't be doing, or not like keeping up with my routines, it'll go up a little bit. So I know what my body needs now for me. And that's what you have to find out, what your happy medium is for you. Everyone that's listening, what works. Like I said, you don't have to run a marathon, but we need to move. And that's what did it for me. That's what did it for me.
That's good. And so we have a great conversation going on here, ladies. If you have any question, please go ahead and put your questions in the chat so we can get those answered by Tonya.
Yes.
But Tonya, you said a couple things in there, and we're on a juice fast right now in the community. We're doing a 5-day heart healthy juice fast.
Yes.
So the first couple days we kind of prepped, and tomorrow we start full day for the next 4 days of nothing but juice.
Nothing
but juice. That's
okay.
it. I do know that some people, because we're a food addicted nation, right? So we're
Yes.
eating a lot of food. So if people need to chew, they can have a salad, the plain salad, or they can have fruit. I like to snack on grapes, watermelon, stuff like that. So I do think that that's fine. But we're doing mostly red fruits during this fast. So watermelons, they can have cucumbers because that's water,
Okay.
and pomegranate and red apples and cherries and anything red.
Okay.
Heart and for the blood.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing right now. Do you think that that's something that would be beneficial for them to continue to do? I think for me, red fruits is it, because I know if our blood is compromised, if our gut is compromised, then it's hard to heal. Blood pressure.
Right.
So you think that is from your experience and working in clinical? Do you think that we're on the right path to getting the ladies healthy with that red fruit diet?
Absolutely. It's a great start. All the great red fruits, the apples and all that. It is a great jump start to a healthier heart. And like when I talked about the heart and the blood flow, that is something that's good to make the blood flow. It's fruits and vegetables, but the fruits alone will do the job. And if you want to do the next one, could be vegetable, green one, but right now we're dealing with the heart and our topic today, and going with the red juicing is absolutely a good idea for you guys to do that. And I need to start it too. I before Inga went to Virginia, she made me a red one with the watermelon and all that. It was delicious.
Isn't it?
I loved it. And I drank it too fast. So, okay, how do you drink it? Is there a certain times to drink it, or you just drink it all day?
I like to drink mine, especially in the morning. If I do have something to eat, it's usually like around 4 o'clock. I may have a salad. Like today, I had some romaine lettuce and cucumbers in the refrigerator, and I just put that in a bowl, and I just on that. Sometimes I'll put like anything but non-dairy. So what I try to teach my ladies is no dairy, no meat, okay? Nothing that God did not make himself. So if I do a dressing, I'll take some cashews and I'll soak them, and then I'll blend them up.
Okay.
And then I'll put some hemp seeds in that and some tahini in that, and I'll make my own ranch dressing because I love ranch.
Awesome. Dressing. Oh, I need that recipe right there.
Oh yeah,
I need that.
If you like it a little sweet, just throw some dates in there. Throw some dates in there.
Good idea.
Like you have ranch.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, honey,
tasty.
The ladies are lucky because I think that is awesome. Now, when you say no meat at all?
No meat at all.
What about seafood? Fish? No?
None. So here's the thing that I've learned about protein. That animals get its protein from vegetables.
Yes.
Right? In the jungle, what's the largest animal in the jungle?
Is it the elephant?
The elephant, the gorilla.
The
they don't eat other animals.
Yeah.
They eat vegetables.
Yeah, you're right.
So we can get strong from getting our right nutrients in our bodies. And so all we really need is spinach has more protein in it. Celery has protein in it.
Right. Right.
Our greens have protein in it, like collard greens and cabbage. So the thing of it is, we don't eat enough of that. So if you got a big bowl and you put it full of your greens, throw some cucumbers in there for water, some onions and tomatoes, you have about 15 to 20 grams of protein.
Yes, and you absolutely get full. I I did it 2 days in a row. I just did vegetables like you. I did spinach with mushrooms, and I just had a big plate of it. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you get full. It's delicious. And there's a guy that I follow. He's a holistic type of gentleman, and he's on Instagram. He's real big. Cousin of mine, blood pressure elevated so high. He's young. He's like 40. His blood pressure elevated so high that it damaged his kidneys. So he's on dialysis now. And so that's why I say he didn't even realize that his blood pressure was so high. So we looked up this gentleman that is a holistic. He's real big on Instagram. I wish I could think of the name, but I'm gonna send him to you.
Dr. Bobby Price. Is he a doctor?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll send it to you. So we reached out, and what you are saying, he said he could heal the kidneys without him going on dialysis just with fruits.
Mm-hmm.
It was all fruits. I don't even know if it was vegetables, but it's something that you have to stick by, and it was just fruits. It might have been some vegetables, and it wasn't a lot of vegetables, but I'm gonna send them to you because I think he'll be a great person for you to follow. And my cousin,
I have a couple of them that I follow. There's a gentleman that I absolutely love called the Minister of Wellness. He's not for everybody because he's really raw. He's really raw when he comes at you, but he's so knowledgeable. And he was the first one that I heard preach on Genesis 1:29, that where God said that he's given us every herb and fruit bearing tree to heal our bodies.
I heard this gentleman say the same thing. I really have to look it up. So you are absolutely right. So I'm not opposed to it. I always tell my husband, I said, I really think I can be a vegetarian. He said, you think so? I said, I really think I can. And I really know I could. So you guys are on the right track.
A little bit of time. I'm transitioning right now to raw food vegan, meaning no cooked food.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because I want to heal my body from the inside out from all these years of not knowing. Now I know. So now I'm eating my water, and I'm enjoying the watermelon and the grapefruit.
Yes.
And the grapes, and I'm enjoying eating peaches because for so long I was doing these different things like most people, keto and fats.
All the fats.
Yes, all these bad things. And so I got away from eating fruits where growing up in the South, we ate fruit and strawberries and cherries and blueberries and blackberries. We could walk along the road and eat them all day.
Yes.
Right? And so I got away from that because I was doing these fad diets and the cost of produce began to skyrocket. But when you think about the cost of medical versus the cost of just buying the holistic foods you would eat, it's no comparison.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
I'm enjoying blueberries and I'm enjoying strawberries.
Yes, I do too. And think about all the toxins that we have in our body. Our bodies are full of toxins because of the things that we have put in it over the years. So for you to start it off with a raw, you are doing yourself a great service to give your body a chance to get rid of flush and get rid of all that toxins and put in those natural things from the earth. That you're doing yourself a great service on that.
And I had developed digestion problems. I could not go to the bathroom properly. And I was taking all of these things. So I would eat something and then I'd have to take some kind of laxative to go to the bathroom. My stomach would be way out here, like I was 4 or 5 months pregnant. And when I changed and began to eat the natural foods, now my body became regular. And I know my Facebook friends are probably saying that's TMI, Tillis, but we need to talk about these things. We don't talk about these things, and therefore we don't know that other people
Mhm.
are suffering from them. So
Yes.
I want to transition a little bit because I know we've been talking a lot about heart health, which is so important. So,
Mhm.
ladies, make sure if you have questions for Tonya, make sure you put them in there. But
Yes.
talk to us about how important self care is from that, because I know you transition now. You have a self care business, and you're
Yes.
helping women in that arena. So, talk
Mhm.
to us how does that combine together, the self
Mhm.
care versus the medical care and healing ourselves,
Mhm.
and how did that come about for you, and how does that help
Yeah,
women?
it helps. Like you said, for one, we do everything for everyone else.
Mhm.
So for me, self care is the best care, and it goes hand in hand when you start putting good things in your body, when you start eating right, when you start exercising, then therefore you want to do self-care on yourself. Make sure your skin is good and hydrated. Make
Mhm.
sure that your body is rid of toxins. Here in the business that I'm in, I do a lot of things to get rid of toxins. So that's one of them. Just getting in a sauna detox and just sweating out those toxins. That's a form of self care that I like to bring to the ladies, and they love it. It's relaxing, and as they're getting rid of toxins, they're actually losing inches at the same time. So I have a business called Body Image Beauty Lounge, spa for women just to come and to just relax and just get rid of the toxins, detox their body, but also body sculpt and couture their body as well. We all have stubborn areas that we want to get rid of. And one thing that you just said, like how your stomach gets bloated, um, we carry a lot of stuff in our stomach, and
Mhm.
I'm kind of going back and forth medically and part of self care because we
Yeah.
carry a lot of disease in our stomach. To be honest with you, diabetes. Sometimes when you have that round stomach, people that are diabetic sometimes have that stomach that just sits there,
Yeah.
and we carry that right there in the pit of our stomachs. And also going back to about the heart, sometimes we didn't really talk about this, but like warning signs of like something with the heart, like chest pain. Some women don't get chest pain ever. They might get arm pain. They might get pain. The number one thing that a woman gets when they're actually getting going into a heart attack. I'm sorry, my phone is just ringing.
Oh no,
Um,
you're fine.
is belly pain sometimes, pain across their shoulder blades, and pain down their arm. So that's I just wanted to put that out there because I wanted to mention that. But like Tilla said, ladies, if you have any questions, I don't want you as soon as you get one pain in your belly or your shoulders to panic, but it's something that's just is consistent and going along with shortness of breath and sweating profusely. Like it's other things that go with it. But I just wanted to mention that. But I just want to say we carry a lot of things in our belly. So therefore, when you come into the business, when I body sculpt and couture you, I do something that's called a lymphatic massage. And the lymphatic massage, a lot of people think it's just for when you have surgery. A lymphatic massage moves fluid and it moves toxins out of your body and you move it through your lymph nodes. It comes out through your lymph nodes. So I do a lot of lymphatic massage on surgery women, but it could be done for you just to come in and pamper yourself. You know how you go and you say, I like to get a good massage. That's
Yeah.
a part of self-care. So I think that is something we have to have self-care just to feel good about ourselves. If we doing all these other things right and we just sitting around doing that's not enough. We still have to do stuff for ourselves. So to give yourself a massage or go get a facial or go like you're getting your nails and your feet done. All that is self-care and pampering on yourself, and it is all good for the mind, body, and the soul and the
Is
spirit.
there a correlation between the lymph nodes and doing the massage and draining the lymph nodes to the heart and other diseases and things that we suffer from?
it's not so much the disease, not so much that it affects the heart. Um, it just moves the fluid through our lymph nodes, but not necessarily going to help any heart condition you have. But it could be a preventative to keeping that fluid circulating and moving through your body, so that um, preventing you from getting swelling and the fluid going, because with fluid travels, you don't want fluid to go around your lungs, you don't want fluid to go around your heart. So it could be a great way to help you in that aspect as well.
That
So
is so good to know. This has
mhm.
been so enlightening, even for me.
Yes,
So, how can people find you?
they can find me on all social platforms. Again, my business is Body Image Beauty Lounge. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Those are my two main places. TikTok a little bit, but you can find me there. I'm located in Newcastle, Delaware. My website is www.bodyimagebeautylounge.com. The full name, it's long, but it's bodyimagebeautylounge.com.
Body image.
And
Putting it in here for everyone. Body image beauty
Beauty
lounge.
Lounge, yes. So
Okay.
that's it on all platforms. I do body sculpting and contouring. Um, like I say, we carry a lot of stuff in the belly. So women's main thing is they want to get rid of that midsection.
Oh
That
yeah.
midsection drives everybody crazy. I have at least 5 tools or more in this lounge that can get rid of that. And we'll talk about that whenever you want to. But I have plenty of tools for you to work on that mid session, because that's everybody. That's us as women. That's the struggle with all of us. And nobody's pretty much exempt. I have the smallest women come in here saying, but I have this pouch right here. So everybody wants to work on that, and I can help you with that, ladies, in so many different ways. If you contact me, we can work together.
It
So
sounds like I need to take a trip to Delaware so that I can support my sister. I'm all about supporting my sisters. I'm all about it. So, ladies in the Phenomenal Woman group, if you're close to Delaware, then you need
yes,
to drive over and visit Tonya. She pours so much into us tonight, and we so appreciate it. Go on her website. I mean, even if you're not in Delaware, maybe you might know someone that is, and you can gift them a gift certificate or a card or something. The holidays,
yes,
birthdays are up upon us.
yes,
Make sure that you support women that are in the Phenomenal Woman group. We should support each other's business. That's what we're
yes.
all about. So
And we
make
do
sure.
have gift cards that you can purchase.
There you go.
And I have these body snatch wraps. It's wraps that wrapped around the body that
Ooh,
you can buy through my website, or you
okay.
can contact me and I can ship them anywhere. And Inga put up yesterday put up a video of her putting her wrap on, and how it just wraps, and it brings the waistline in. And I'm telling you, it's a secret tool. If you sleep in it every morning, you'll see your waist shrinking and shrinking.
What? I need that. And
Um,
Inga, she always got the secrets, right?
oh, you know she does.
She already snatched. She don't need that. She don't need no body
Honey,
wrap. She already snatched.
yes. So I just thank you so much. If any of the ladies have any questions or anything for us, the healthy heart, or concerning the business, they can contact me at 302-533-8373. Or you can go through Tillis and she will contact me and let me know where to go from there. So I thank you guys. This has been an awesome evening, and I appreciate you, Tillis, for giving me the opportunity to come and speak about healthy heart.
Absolutely. And I just love your energy. And thank you so much for pouring into us tonight. We want to make sure some ladies will probably watch this in the replay. They were texting me like, tell us I'm at Bible study, so I'm going to watch it later. So any
Yeah.
that I have, I'm going to forward them to you. And you guys make sure you go on her website, support her business, drive other people to the business. That's what we do in Phenomenal Women. We help each other to grow. And Tonya, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You so welcome. And you
And
are a phenomenal woman, and you're awesome to just have this platform for women. It is a safe place to sit, and you can teach them things about especially with your journey that you're about to take. That is you. It's
Man.
awesome. I'm going to try to do this juicing with you. I'm going to try to do that.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
yes.
going to try to do it. So are we checking in and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, I have an email list that I put the ladies on, and then we do a Zoom beforehand, and then we do a Zoom at the end. But I'm always available for them. They text me throughout the day, and if they need anything, then I'm there. But the great thing is the Juice Fast is free. I'm doing it just because I want to see women healthy, and I know that if I can make mama healthy, then it's going to make the children healthy. It's going to make husbands and significant others healthy.
Yes.
Birth a nation. So
Yes.
heal a nation.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
So thank you again. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care. Talk to you soon.
Everyone.